I'm going to give you the perfect example of why it's, you know, people like Shaky Bay are doomed to continuously end up vilified. Just because they did some dumb shit, said some dumb shit, and then they're cursed forever once certain people have their minds made up about them. Shaky Bay posted a video about, like, PvP stuff, and then in that, he also showed me talking about the hands video of him and Shaky Bay fighting, and, like, where I kind of shit-talk hands, saying that, like, he was comboing like I'm a fucking moron. Blue Squadron did a reaction to that video. So, basically what I'm getting at is, people, once they have their mind made up about something, they fill in the blanks in their own narrative no matter what. So, for example, like, Blue Squadron, I love Blue Squadron. But, obviously, he's gonna look, you know, everybody talks about hands as the fucking man. Shaky Bay is an asshole. So, of course, when he looks at stuff like this, he's gonna look to side with hands over Shaky Bay because his mind's made up already. Into full charge reckless, ankle break. So he does ankle break, which is the lingering crit, which lines up into pole. Blue Squadron says something, and and then I'll explain it. I gotta get to the part where he says for the big damage. And what does he do? He does a grave dig. He does it for the AP. So notice how after I say the grave digging, I say he does that for the AP. I said that because somebody... No, I'm gonna get to that, Agon. That's what I'm saying. That's the uninitiated POV right there. I knew somebody was gonna say that, so thank you for giving me that. I say he does that for the AP. I said that because I was reading a message from somebody, because I was streaming when I did that, and somebody said he does it for the AP. And then I broke down that he, in fact, he's definitely not doing it for the AP because he already has his Q block AP buff, which that's the AP buff. He already has the AP buff. And I'm gonna get further into it. All right, here.
We're picking up on it. For example,
he's actually explaining how good hands is, and all of the shit that he's doing in his combo to actually get an extra AP buff, to actually get that DP buff, because that's what he needs to try to kill Shaky, and Shaky has his...
No, he doesn't.
So, you see, I said he does it for the AP buff, reading the message, when 100% he wasn't doing it for AP buff. But to somebody who doesn't know Warrior and doesn't know these things, as soon as you hear that, you think, oh, he's doing it for the AP buff. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, people already fill in the blanks. Like, right there, Blue filled in the blanks to think I was defending McCann's, saying he's doing it for the AP buff to get AP to combo more. No, that was a flopped combo right there. And, again, I'm not trying to shit-talk Blue. I know he's not going to know everything about Warrior. He doesn't play Warrior, and Warrior is a very complicated class. But regardless, so, we could go back to the Pulverize thing. You said Pulverize is on cooldown here. So... Look at the cooldown on Pulverize there, right?
Evasion Shred. Every single time.
It's fucking 3 seconds. So what you... Bro, this is what being Warrior is. And this is why I ripped apart this video, because, I'm sorry, I love McCann's. I think when it comes to catching, he's a beast. He'll probably catch me more than I catch him. But when you sit in BA and PvP on Trials only, you never have to really focus on damage and combos because you just kill each other. Everybody's in Trials is super squishy. So, and that's how he's played this game for fucking years. So that's why I was ripping this apart, because in this video, I felt like he could definitely be killing Shaky Bay if he did real combos, but he never once did real combos. And like you said, Pulverize is on cooldown. Yeah, but Slashing in the Dead and Grave Digging aren't. That's what comboing is. He just landed a KD. What you do after a KD, and just to show, one of the best combos you do right now in BDO as a Warrior is Reckless into Overwhelm, into Slashing, or Grave Digging, then Slashing, and then Ankle Break Pulverize. Which is, like here, what do? I do the Reckless for the KD, just like Hands did there. I do Overwhelm, which he had, Slashing, which he had, then I do Ankle Break and Pulverize, which he would have had off cooldown there. And then you have the most optimal combo, you know what I mean? Like one of the best damage strings you could have on Warrior there. But instead, he fucking just threw out some random shit. So either, personally, I think he didn't realize he had Pulverized on cooldown there, so he threw out the Ankle Break, then he saw Pulverized on cooldown, panicked, threw out a Grave Digging. That's what I'm going to think happened here. Or he might have just been styling. But my whole problem with breaking this down is because somebody like McCann's, who plays this game and streams it, you have so many fanboys and shit. No matter what you do, people are going to be like, oh, he did it because of this. He didn't do this because he fucked up. You know, they're going to defend it. Like, say things like, oh, he did it for the AP buff. But he didn't do it for the AP buff, bro. He already has the AP buff with 8 seconds down there, or whatever it is. He has it for plenty of time for the combo. I know I already broke this down, but the main thing I'm getting at is, you see how you immediately said Pulverize is on cooldown? So immediately, everybody goes to defend people like McCann's when they make mistakes, to make them out to be like these perfect gamers. And then somebody like Shaky Bay, since a lot of people don't like him, everybody's going to just constantly rip apart everything he does and look for the negatives. And you have to break things down in a neutral way in order to fucking, that's what I try to do constantly. I try to break things down in a neutral POV because I want viewers to get the real fucking advice, to see the real shit, not to see fucking cherry picked and whatever bullshit. Like, if you're watching his PvP like this and somebody in the comments, like when I watched it, somebody in the comments said he did it for AP buff, now some ignorant warrior is gonna be like, oh, he did that for AP buff, I should do that. And some fucking dumbass warrior now is gonna start throwing ankle break into grave digging for, you know, in the middle of his combos and do terrible. I'm not defending, I'm just not shitting on the grave digging there. I know, but that's what I'm saying. He 100% had the time to wait for Pulverize to come off cooldown there.
Doing in his combo to actually get an extra.
So that's what I'm saying. That's not an answer. That's not an excuse for not using Pulverize there. He 100% could have done Pulverize there. That's how warrior combos are. Look at this. That's how you combo on warrior, homie. Look at my cooldowns right now. Look at my cooldown slots. Watch how we have to do this. Look, you see overwhelm 2 seconds. You see slashing 2 seconds. Watch how I'm comboing. Look at the cooldowns. 1 second still. It's about to come off cooldown. 1 second now. It's about to come off cooldown. What do? Overwhelm, slashing, immediately as it comes off cooldown. That's warrior combos. You have to know everything about the timing. It's all muscle memory and timing. You have that shit down to fucking 0.1 seconds in order to combo efficiently. What the fuck? You can't, it's, to stall Pulverize is fucking free. That's like common sense. So the fact that he didn't do that, yeah, it's kind of an embarrassing combo, and that's why I was kind of like, dude, what my opinion is he knows people are going to watch him do this and just make excuses for him not killing and say it's gear, and also say, you know, things you were doing was the best he can do, and it doesn't matter what he does. So when you're fighting somebody who outgears you, instead of playing to save your cooldown so you have them available and playing to maximize combos so you can get the kills, you just throw random shit out and say, oh, I don't have the gear to get it done. Like when I fight hero play, I'm who outgears me, you know what I mean, and it's a mission to kill him, but what I'm doing is I'm saving everything. I'm making sure when I get my catch, it's through a ground smash or a grab, not through like soul flare overwhelm a lot of times. So I know I have soul flare, I know I have balance strike or whatever. I don't use balance strike for movement as much. I want to know I have soul flare and balance strike to get my evasion debuff and my accuracy buff available in the combo so I get the most damage out. I'm trying my best not to use those. But if you're fighting and you're gonna just make the excuse, I don't have gear, I'm not gonna go for the kill, you throw those out to get the catches, because you're gonna get the catches a little easier if you're utilizing those skills, but you're not gonna have the damage to get the kill. But if you're just gonna be like, well, I don't have the damage, it's impossible, then it works out. And if you have to chat with a bunch of fanboys that are just gonna fucking agree with you no matter what happens and say, oh, he's right, he doesn't have the gear. But if you have somebody who's gonna analyze it and be like, no, bro, he has the shit, he just doesn't do anything in his combos. He doesn't utilize his fucking skills. Doesn't use overwhelm. You know, doesn't use balance strike and the hilt strike in the combos, which is the evasion. You know, he's not trying to fucking get the shit done. Again, Blue Squadron watched this and thought I was just because I said something as a joke, he thought I was agreeing and saying that Hans is doing some crazy combo when it was a terrible combo. So again, full circle, going to show how if people have their mind made up on who they favor in a matchup, they're gonna just agree with mistakes that the person they favor does, and no matter what the other guy does that they don't like, they're gonna disagree with it and say he's bad.
So
it's just unfortunate.
Like 6 months ago.
So I'm trying to get the combo. I want to see the combo. He does a grave dig.
This is.
Come on, get it out. Into ground smash, you know what I mean? It's grave digging into ground smash, chopping kick to the side, and God only knows what he does after that. After landing a KD, you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, what are we doing? You're just inting. Don't try to, so it's hard to believe him saying, you know, oh, it's gear when you're doing dumb shit like that in the combos. And Blue Squadron thinking I was defending Hands when I was being sarcastic is funny because it proves that point. Again, love Blue Squadron. Fucking gangster ass dude, funny as hell. Like, I made sure, if I'm gonna show it, made sure I did a decently good fucking job in those combos. You know, made sure we got armor break, slashing the dead. We did lingering crit into pulverize, BSR. You know, we made sure we got the biggest, most important factors out to break it down. You know, if you're gonna fucking say someone's tanky, don't show fucking ankle break into grave digging into ground smash as your combo. You know what I mean? Like, and when I'm streaming, I have Bobo in my chat. If I try saying something and I'm like, oh, this doesn't make sense, you know, what is this bullshit? He's too tanky or whatever. I got Bobo who's going to be like, bro, you didn't do this right. You didn't do this and that. Shit, he says that even when it's not true. So I have to double check and be like, no, I did do that. You know what I mean? Like, I am always double checking myself. Other people who stream, they don't have arguably the best player on their class breaking them down, constantly questioning what they're doing, making them double check everything, you know? You think if Bobo was in Hans' stream there when he was saying that Shaky Day was too tanky for him, you think he's not gonna say because he don't give a fuck. But if that was me saying he's too tanky, I would have had Bobo. I would have had Bobo in the chat being like, "Bro, fucking combo properly. I taught you better than this." You know, he would have been on my shit. It's a plus coming to the stream, all right, because you get top warrior minds breaking shit down, okay? Not just me and my ego talking. My ego gets put into question by the master constantly. Although I gotta say, I usually prove him wrong. 'Cause fuck that guy.